Good evening. Wow. What a fantastic crowd this evening. It's a sold-out crowd for the celebration. I cannot tell you how thankful I am and how all of those who've been putting on this auction are to your attendance and your support. And it is really a tribute to the trio and their many, many years of service and dedication. This evening is my first time for an auction here at Catherine McAuley High School, and I know that for some of you, this is your first night as well. So if you are a first-timer like me, raise your hand. Yes. I'd like to give a special shout out to the alumni. Will you raise your hand? What? Oh. I've been told I have to introduce myself. I'm Catherine Barr. I'm the new head of school. I don't feel new, though. I feel like I've been here for a long, long time. This place has a beautiful spirit, and I have enjoyed every second of this short 8 months that I've been here, and look forward to a beautiful future with all of your help. This evening is really a time for us to honor Joe Kilmartin, Sister Edward Mary, and Candy Anderson Eck. Together, their years have made 100 years of service. Wow. Inspiration to me each and every day, as I know they are to you and to the students in the past and to the students who are yet to come to McAuley. People meet them and they realize what a special place that this is, because they can see it in their eyes, they can feel it in their voices, and they know that this is a very special place. We so appreciate your being here tonight for this time to honor these three wonderful people and to follow their example. So we hope that you will enjoy the evening, find time to greet these special people, and of course, be sure to give generously, buy lots of items, because this money will go to ensure the future of the girls with their scholarships. At this time, our wonderful student chorus will present our school song. Girls?
Mr. Kamartin just informed me that is the new school song, so he's constantly educating. So that was really, really, that was beautiful. So thank you for that wonderful song. My name is Justine Porvelis. I'm a 2002 graduate of McAuley. And I have been bestowed the wonderful honor of introducing Mr. Kamartin. So I never played on the tennis team, so Mr. Kamartin was never my coach, and I think I only had a few classes with him, so I'm sure there had been other students who'd spent more time with McAuley, with Mr. Kamartin at McAuley. So I'm guessing that I was picked to speak about him since no one in the history of any school tormented anybody more than I did or Mr. Kamartin. So, you know, I'm going to run with that, and I'm hoping that that's why I was picked, because I'm going to have a little bit of fun with it. So, you know, they told me to keep this brief, thank God, because I think it would take another 40 years to list all the things that we did to Mr. Kamartin when we were here. So I'm just going to talk about one specific story, and there's so many. This one wasn't even a favorite, just was the one that I thought about that we had a lot of fun with. So this was a multi-phased plot. So the first phase was Mr. Kamartin was in the mall, and we snuck up from behind him with a sombrero. And somebody was like, Mr. Kamartin, so that he looked. And we got a picture of the sombrero on his head with this, like, you know, shocked look. And so we had the picture, and we didn't know what we were going to do with it. So then we blew it up. And so that was phase one. Then phase two was we took the lion, I don't know if it's still there, the lion that's on the mezzanine, that's a cutout of the lion with the McAuley uniform. And we took that down, and we cut out the face, and we put it on the lion. And so we had that ready to go. And so I don't know why we had Mr. Kamartin's cell phone number. I'm not sure why. And so he's in class, and I think Jody Minervino, who's here, I think it was her, called him in the middle of class, and we did this sometimes. And he had his phone, you know, on his back pocket. I think probably a lot of you remember that. He had that holster. And so I think Jody called him and disguised the voice just in case he wouldn't know who it was, because it was always the same people doing it. And so we called him and go, "There's a visitor at your door." And so he opened the door when the class was going on, and then the cutout was there, and with his face, and he kicked it. And he just kicked it. And then it went into the middle of the hall, and then he shut the door, and then just went on like it was nothing. And I don't even know if this is really what happened. Like, we keep telling ourselves about it. I think that's what happened. I mean, I hope so. So, you know, I do tell you this, though, because I don't think that there is a person in the world who could have handled what we did with such humility and grace. And I think deep down he did that because he knew that we did it with such adoration and admiration. And so it is really nice that the theme of this 100 years is mercy, because thank you for showing us mercy, Mr. Kamartin. But in all honesty, thank you for 40 years of being a wonderful ambassador to the sports community in Portland, in the Portland area. Thank you for being an amazing educator and an even more amazing human being. And we all can stand here together and just honor you and thank you for your wonderful years of service. Thank you. Come on.
I thought she was going to talk about the time she stole my car, the time she ruined my equipment run, the time they built their own little clubhouse off the gym. I thank God you're a great basketball player, because otherwise life would have been a little different. But I know, thank you, Justine. Because when I saw her here, and I knew that might be a little trouble. But it's not just Justine, it's all the girls. It's, you know, 40 years is no doubt, it's a long time. You know, when I hate to say how old some of my oldest students are, it's, ooh. They're checking every time it recounts now, so it's, life is tough. But again, you know, it's been long, it's been fun, you know, I just heard the other day, it was one of the quotes from Mark Twain, it's something about, the key to success is to make your vocation your vacation, which I think, I really shouldn't say this because some people think I'm on vacation all the time, but it's, but it is the truth. I mean, it's, if you love what you do and you do what you love, it doesn't always seem like work. So, and I enjoy the girls, I have the fun, the people I work with, it's, the three people, Sister Edward Mary, the best, Candy. I mean, just people you work with, the fun throughout the years. But, the key to life is, hey, you got to have fun with what you're doing. And that's, way I look at it. And hopefully I've had fun and also imparted a little bit along the way also. So thank you all and appreciate it.
Good evening. My name's Brenda Downey Bollier, and several years ago I stood on the stage at City Hall as a member of the graduation class of Catherine McAuley High School, no date given. And I began my remarks with, "Today is a special day." And who would have thought all these years later I would be here in front of you all, and to use those same words again, tonight is a special night, as we have the opportunity to honor 3 outstanding individuals whose combined service and dedication have added up to over 100 years. I have the distinct privilege of introducing our beloved Sister Edward Mary. Who is being honored this evening with the Mercy Medal for her 35 years of service. When I was first asked to speak on Sister's behalf, my immediate response was, "What, the Pope is busy? Where's President Obama? What about the 21-gun salute? For she is so deserving." Through all the trials and tribulations that are associated with being the principal of a Catholic all-girls school, Sister Edward Mary has always conducted herself with one goal in mind: to do what is best for the girls and for the school. As a freshman in college, I was one of the few that already knew how to study for finals. Sister has never wavered on making sure that the students of Catherine McAuley High School receive a superior education. As a parent of a student today, Sister again and again shows how much she is McAuley. One Friday night, my Maddie began freaking out that she had left a book in her locker and she wouldn't be able to do her homework. I told her not to worry, Mom would think of something. The next day, we drove into school and it was locked up tighter than a drum. I could see Maddie starting to stress out next to me, so I picked up my phone and called Sister. She, of course, she would go unlock the school for Maddie right after she finished grocery shopping for a priest. She met us there with a welcoming smile, reassuring Maddie not to feel bad. Everyone forgets things at times, and it wasn't an inconvenience at all. Maddie got back in the car. She smiled at me and said, "I just love Sister. She is so nice." As a former board member, many difficult decisions have had to be made over the years, and Sister has always held her head high and made or delivered each decision with grace and dignity. I happened to be the board chair when Cheverus was seeking permission to become a co-educational facility. It was a very difficult time, and yet Sister stood tall and said, "We have faced adversity in the past, and our mission is clear: to offer a strong Catholic education to the young women of Southern Maine." And all these years later, she and McAuley are still following that mission. No matter what the issue was or what high-level discussion was taking place, Sister never lost sight of the reason we were there: the girls. We were in a finance meeting one afternoon discussing how we were ever going to formulate a balanced budget when Sister stood up, walked out of the home ec room to a student who was hovering by the door. She walked back through the home ec room with the student and out the other door. When she returned, she said, "Oh, there were some upperclassmen in the mall, and that little freshman was too scared to walk by them. So I took her through this door, and I introduced her to them, and they have now taken her to her next class." Another relationship that Sister and I share would be that she is my former boss. That's right. I was the McAuley field hockey coach a long time ago. There came about a situation when Sister demonstrated once again her tremendous leadership abilities. Some of my players had skipped practice the day before a game to go watch a boys' team. I asked Sister for guidance, knowing that there would definitely be some parent pushback. She told me she trusted me to make the correct decision. The girls were benched, the subs started. Sister stood on the side of the field with her arms crossed and just smiled and nodded as the team made of subs ran off the field in victory. Nobody, including myself, will ever be able to put into words what Sister and her dedication and guidance has meant to the success of Catherine McAuley High School. We have been so blessed to have had her as part of our family for over 35 years. Some time ago, somebody gave to me a parable about a train, and I wanted to share a little part of it with you this evening. At birth, we board a train and we meet our parents. At some station, they step down from the train and leave us on our journey alone. As time goes by, other people board the train, some significant, some not. Some leave a permanent void when they vacate the train. Others come and go unnoticed. The train ride is full of joy, sorrow, happiness, and disappointment. The mystery is that we do not know at which station we ourselves will step down, so we must always offer the best of who we are. I want to thank you, Sister, for allowing all of us to be passengers on your train. And we wish you continued love and success on your journey, as you will always hold a special place in every McAuley heart.
I'm not as tall as some. The nicest part of this whole evening is seeing you, our guests. I was thinking, as I greeted many of you, I thought of a lot of stories. And Justine, I did think of the couple that you mentioned too. But the wonderful part is you all have a story that you brought to us. And they really are stories that are translated now into our memories. If you ever looked at an educational philosophy book, they were boring. And I would be the first to say that. I hope that my philosophy in dealing with all of you, be it the staff, be it the students, be it the wonderful alums that are here this evening, was very simple. I always believed in the axiom of have faith, hope, and charity. And actually, there are songs written about it, and there are hymns written. Have faith, hope, and charity. That's the way to live successfully. Remember that song? Some of us are of the same vantage in this room. In our church, we sing about faith, hope, and charity. One evening, many, many years ago, there was a group that wanted to use this auditorium, and they really didn't have the money to rent it. So I said, I'll come over, unlock, you have your program, and I'll lock up. The presenter was a psychologist, I believe from Boston University. And when the question period started, there was a dad not sitting very far from me, and he was not one of our parents. And he said, I'd like to ask the sister a question. And I had to admit right away, I said, sir, I'm no psychologist. I'm just here as a guest tonight. And he said, how do you stand them? And he was the parent, he told me then, of a 14-year-old girl, and they were not communicating. And I said to him casually, well, the truth is, they all go home to you at 2:30. But then I was quick to say, in truth, I believe that every 14-year-old that comes through the building, she's leaving about age 18. I believe she's going to be the wonderful person that you and I think we are. I said, you think you're a good person? Well, yes, he did. And I said, I think I'm a good person. And guess what? They are all going to be wonderful people. Very simple. And you know, I see you all tonight. You're trying to catch me up. I'm asking on your lives. And you are wonderful people. So my philosophy of life is very true. You've all turned into the person that we hoped that you would be. We had faith in you. We had hope in your future. And I hope when I told you to tuck in that shirt, put that sweater in your locker, you knew I was caring for you and caring for your future. God bless you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Katie Faust. Now you will know me probably as Katie McCarthy, class of 1996. We have a great contingency here from the class of 96, which is why you have all the cheering. I don't think it's me. I have the honor and the pleasure to say some words about Candy Anderson-Eck. I'm not going to cry. She's an extraordinary teacher and role model, and she's blessed Catherine McAuley High School for 25 years. I don't want to stand between any of you, and particularly some of you, and dinner, and so I'm going to be brief. It would be impossible for me to put into words what Candy Anderson-Eck has done for me personally or for this school and for so many of the people that I see around this room. So I'll do my best. It actually isn't easy to work in one place for 25 years, and that's an achievement in itself. But if you know Candy, you know that she did not simply just show up every single day for 25 years. No, Candy rolled into this school each day with dedication, spirit, and with her whole heart. Candy is one of the rarest kinds of human beings. She never falls short of 100%, and she literally puts her entire self into her work and her life, and she is unfailing in her loyalty, love, and commitment. Candy is an extraordinary teacher. I, along with a number of my classmates here tonight, met Candy, Miss Anderson, when I was 14 years old on our first day of school in freshman English class. I immediately fell in love with the school, the teacher, and with every book except a few that come to mind that Candy assigned to us. Candy has very rigorous standards, endless charisma, and captivating teaching style. And I can't begin to tell you the impact that she has had on my life. After McAuley, I continued my education for 8 more years of college and graduate school, and the solid foundation that Candy provided to me, both in reading and writing, helped me excel in school and in my career. But the quality that sets Candy apart from others is her heart. She cares so much about each and every student that walks through these doors. She's spent days in the classroom helping students develop skills that will serve them for the rest of their lives. She's spent afternoons helping struggling students with academics and guiding students engaged in important activities like P Club and others. She has spent evenings, nights, and weekends fundraising for the school and at lock-ins and project graduations, and next week she's going to go to Tanzania with a group of students. And now, as the director of admissions, Candy has thrown her whole self into recruiting and selecting promising young prospective students. And what better person to be front and center representing this fine school. Candy is a person with the highest ethical standards, most rigorous academic standards, and she remains, in my opinion, one of the most fun people to be around. So Candy, we love you, we celebrate you, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here for 25 years.
I am humbled, and my heart is so full. My family is here, and my McAuley family is here, and really that is in itself one of my greatest professional blessings that Edward Mary bestowed on me a couple of years ago when I walked in for a job. And I don't know how to thank you, Sam. You allowed me to grow up professionally here, and what I found at McAuley was the very same little school, mighty, packs a punch, and though we talked about math and we talked about red flag issues and we did everything we were supposed to do with a school, unwavering, we loved girls hard, and we are allowed to do that. And that's because you created a family. All my colleagues together, we love your girls, parents out there. And I don't have children of my own. I love 12 nieces and nephews like they are my own. And for the short while you gave me yours, I kept in mind that I would do for you what somebody was doing for my own nieces and nephews somewhere else. So I thank you for being here, and thank you for entrusting me with your daughters. And finally, I love school. I was trying to think, like, how do I make it short when I have to just tell you, unfortunately, I had a very happy childhood. And it started in this little tiny school where my brother and sisters and I knew that we were loved. And so we just went about our business of growing up. And I thought one of my favorite memories was, you know the little cardboard containers of milk that you got at recess? We used to cut them in half, and then a teacher had us put dirt in them in a little plant, and we waited so patiently every day for something to grow in that little box. It was a bean. I think it was a kidney bean. And we waited, but what we learned more than photosynthesis and science was that we all had a job to do, and that was to take care of someone else as much as we had the responsibility of taking care of ourselves. And that little school on the corner, Willard School, was a blessing because it was the very school that taught me. And Edward Mary, you let me bring those characteristics here. And so while Willard School doesn't exist, it does in many ways here at McAuley, and I am forever grateful for you for letting me continue. And the other little secret is the lady that let me build that little bean also gave me a love for reading, and I love to be read to. I really love to be read to, and I can tell you my favorite was Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. And my 4th grade teacher who's here tonight, she actually read that to me. And I kept wanting her to read more. I think she just read to us to quiet us down and contain my energy. But I loved that ability for her just to read to me every day. And so if you haven't read Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim and you have a little one, you better pick it up. But I also thank Miss Candoyan for loving all the Andersons and helping us grow up. Because there's no coincidences, and you taught us what we brought here. So you two women are awesome. Thank you.
So my name's Heidi Osborne, and I'm currently chair of the board here at McAuley. And we get to briefly, because I know I'm between you and dinner, present the medals to our 3 honorees this evening. I'll say one thing. So first of all, I'm a parent of a class of '09, Anna DeVoe. For many years, I've been known as Annie's mom, and now I get to be a slightly different title here at the school. I'm here doing what I do for probably the same reason you're all here tonight, because I love what this school did for my daughter. And I'm sure you love what it did for either you or for your daughters, and that's why we're all sitting here tonight. And there is nothing sweeter when you're building the future of Catherine McAuley and planning and hoping and working towards it, to know that you're standing on the shoulders of giants. And we've got 3 giants here tonight that we're honoring. And when I say giants, I'm also including all of you for everything that you do for the school and your daughters. So without further ado, I'm going to present the medals. Now, what we're going to do here is we have the Mercy medals, and we also have a tradition at Catherine McAuley. What we do at graduation is we present yellow roses to our graduates. And so tonight, in honoring that tradition, we're going to give yellow roses to our honorees, 4 for Joe, 3 for Sister Edward Mary, and 2 for Candy, in honor of their decades of service. And so now our last act here is to give the student ensemble an opportunity to sing "You Have Made a Difference," and then we'll go straight from here into dinner.
I guess I want me to sing. A dance. Come up, girls, come up. Tell me, son, what are you going to do?
Our student soloists are seniors Alex Dow and McAuley. And on guitar, we have Senior Taylor Whaley, and on piano, Senior Samuel Clark. So you have made a difference.